Apparently, you could talk your way into a university place, according to this article in The Guardian anyway. But papers like to sensationalize things. So let's dig into this article and see how we can use this information to the advantage of you Year 13s this summer. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel where you can get the latest on GCSEs, A-levels and education in all its forms. So without further ado, let's get back to talking our way into good universities. And we'll start at the beginning. See, this is all because of money, of course, like most things in the world. Due to the pandemic and everything else that's going on, universities are set to lose about 50 to 100% of their international student intake. That's students from countries that are not within the United Kingdom. Now, if you didn't know, universities make heaps of money from international students. And I'll go into why and how that works in another video. But for now, let's just focus on the fact that because of this massive and possibly even complete fall in their international students, universities will have a potentially £19 billion hole in their pockets. Now, the government put some caps on universities, limiting the amount of spaces that they can have for students. Now, initially this sounds bad because it makes you think, oh no, now there's even less spaces, less chance for me getting in. But this isn't necessarily the case. Some higher ranking universities are currently operating and accepting below the cap, which means they could take a lot more students. And the incentive for them to increase that intake is simple. Each student is a customer who will contribute to filling the massive money-shaped hole in universities' pockets next year. Simply put, more students, more money. And as a bonus, the government even said if the students do break the cap and go above, they won't penalise them. The universities won't be fined for that. But what does this have to do with talking your way into a university place? Well, because of the grading system that we've got for these summer exams, which I've spoken about at some length on my channel, and there'll be cards put up if you're interested in that. But because of that system, student grades are going to be wrong. We can't escape that fact. It's just how it's going to be. Now, what this article is saying is that students on the day that they get their results in August can now pick up the phone and say, hey, I've been given the wrong results. These are not the results that I should have got. I've gotten slightly worse. Can I still have a place? And universities might actually say yes. There's a good chance that they will. A much better chance or higher chance than there has been in past years. The reasons for this are pretty well founded. We of course have the aforementioned reasons about spaces and money and international students, but this is compounded by the fact that universities, especially more prestigious ones, who in the past have always been worried about students with lower grades possibly causing the university ranking to drop, they don't need to worry about that happening anymore with this cohort, because every single university is going to be scrambling to fill their spaces. So in other words, they're all in the same boat. So if the quality of students drop, which I'm pretty sure it won't because you Year 13s work hard and I don't believe that you guys, generally speaking, are low achievers, but even if the quality of student drops, then all universities will have that slight drop, which means that the rankings won't be affected by it. Here's something that I didn't know as well. Apparently, it's an actual thing for parents to call up a university and argue that their child should get a place and basically demand that their child should get a place, and it actually work. The article that I've been mentioning throughout this video quotes Lee Elliott Major, who's a professor of social mobility at the University of Exeter, as saying, "Never underestimate the adeptness of the sharp-elbowed middle classes at exploiting opportunities." And they pinned this particularly on middle-class mothers. Now, I'm not in a position to comment on the middle class or on middle-class mothers in particular. I'm not even sure what class I even belong to. Categorizing is always weird. But if mums or even students themselves have this power, then it's an option that might be worth it, especially considering the fact that Ofqual are already saying that the exam results will be higher this year anyway, meaning more students from this country will be able to get into universities of their choice than previously expected, and some might even be able to go through clearing or adjustment or whatever other systems that they have in place to get to better universities that they didn't think they were capable of getting into. So what I'm saying is, go for it. When those exam results come in, if they're better than you thought, why not pick up the phone and give a higher ranking uni a call, especially if you were interested in going there in the first place. Of course, if this could in any way jeopardize your original place or your original plans, don't do it. But if it's a shot in the dark that loses you nothing, shoot, try it out. Because apparently it works and has been working this whole time without a lot of us realizing it. If there's a university that you'd like to try and get into, let me know in the comments down below. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys were aiming for and maybe didn't get into, or what you guys were aiming for and you did actually get into. And I'm also just thinking about this whole asking for a place thing again, and I can actually see how it could work, because as I've gotten older, I've learned more and more that it's not necessarily just your skills, your knowledge and your abilities that get you into places. It's sometimes just asking the right people the right things at the right time or in the right way. Then doors can open for you. Well, most of the time. Sometimes you can get into weird situations by asking questions. Like this one time I was working at the PlayStation headquarters in London, and actually, let's not tell that story. Alright, so that's all for today. Hopefully this gives you year 13s a little bit more hope and confidence in your future staying on track. And if not, then don't worry. I'll keep trying to deliver as much good news as possible to give you that confidence and give you that peace of mind, because I know this is a hard time, but we can get through it. You will get through it and you will come out better on the other side. Just make sure that you keep sticking around and watching these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a like, and why not comment your thoughts as well. So right now some videos should be appearing on screen. Why not take advantage of these, because I'm sure you'll find them useful. So that's all for today. Until next time.